All right, so welcome back to Men, Mindset, and Meaning. I'm your host, Jerry Pope Jr., and today's conversation is one I've been really looking forward to. When you hear the word legacy, most people you know, they don't really think about what you leave to other people. They mostly think about money, success, or accomplishments. But legacy is bigger than that. It's about impact, it's about character, it's about how people felt after being around you. Today's episode is called Legacy. What do you want to be remembered for? And I'm joined by someone I respect and value, Mr. Anthony Adderly. What's going on, man?
How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. How everything been going with you?
Life is life, and but we're progressing.
Yeah,
We're not
life
maintaining,
definitely.
we're progressing.
Yes, sir, definitely. All right, so with this episode, it's not about pressure or perfection. It's about reflection, growth, and intentional living. So our first segment, because it's only 5 segments. The first one is defining legacy. When you hear the word legacy, what does it mean to you personally?
Legacy means to me you answered it in the intro: impact, character, and legacy for me definitely means leaving behind something that the next generation could follow.
Okay, true.
Whether it's community outreach, whether it's business oriented, it's something that is however you decided to leave this world, however whatever you left behind in this world, the next generation will want to follow. In my opinion, that's what legacy means.
Okay, so has the definition changed over time, in your opinion?
Yes,
Do you?
because
Mhm.
legacy, growing up, I've heard the word legacy a lot because I went to a predominantly black school. So
Mhm.
all I heard was legacy in terms of the pioneers of our city. They left behind a legacy of what they did during the civil rights movement and things of that nature. So I've been hearing that word legacy since I was 8. And there was a point in time I'm like, okay, well, maybe some people have thought about it from a financial standpoint. I want to leave behind a legacy that he was the richest person alive.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I realized how unrealistic that can be. And where my foundation was, I grew up around people that actually made a difference in the community. So and again, these were pioneers that were around during the civil rights movement. They were around when the city of Delray Beach, shout out to Delray Beach, um, during their early stages and the differences that they made in the community. So yeah.
Let's see. Did you always think about legacy, or did something trigger it for you?
To be quite honest with you, I never thought about it because I never saw myself leaving one.
Oh, why is that?
Never thought about it. I mean, I didn't run a. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think about leaving behind a legacy until maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
Because for me, legacy, I didn't think about it because I think, well, I'm doing this because I want to leave a legacy. No, I'm just doing it because I want to do it. Now, if it evolves to be leaving a legacy, thank you. I appreciate it. But I was just doing things just to do it, like helping people. And, of course, cooking is one of my passions. So, Yeah, I've never really thought about leaving behind a legacy, and it really did come to fruition until 2 years ago when I joined the fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma. So when I joined the fraternity, that's where the word legacy started circling my brain more and more because I'm like, well, who do I want to be in this organization? But also, who was I before I joined this organization? And how can I blend the two so I can pretty much continue to evolve, not only as a brother, but as a man.
Gotcha. And a lot of times, I think uh, a lot of people don't realize legacy isn't something you wait to build. It's something you're living,
Hmm.
and you live it every day.
Yep.
So, when it, like for me, of course, and a lot of people know we just had our daughter. So I'm looking at what is my legacy going to be when she's grown and I'm no longer here. What will people remember me for was to be, just because I had a podcast or whatever the case is. Because I mean, once I actually get into the different areas and crafts that I have been working on, yeah, I mean, there's going to be the money part of it, but that ain't even the legacy. That's just to make sure that my child and my wife good. So it's just like I want her to remember me as somebody who was a stand up guy, not only in the community but in her life and the friends that she have. So it's a list of people in my eyes that I want to be known for doing something positive in the community as well.
Well, so Silas, congratulations on your baby girl.
Thank you.
Um, Second, again, I didn't think about legacy until 4 years ago when I LLC'd my event planning slash catering business.
Oh, we gotta
Um,
talk about that too, because I'm DJing. We need to connect for real. Oh, that's side conversation. We gonna get into
okay.
that. Me and you will talk about that.
Okay. But yeah, I didn't think about legacy until 4 years ago when I actually sat down, and this was yeah, it was during towards the end of the pandemic.
Hmm.
I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do something for myself.
Yeah.
So I took up bartending. That's how it all came about. I took up a bartending class just to kill time. I'm like, let me do something for myself. So I did. And that's what got me into the catering field because I was already cooking for people anyway that wanted a few things done for a party or something. I never really had a business plan or anything. I was just like, well, let me do it because a family friend needs my help.
All right.
But when I actually got the bartending license, that's how my catering business actually came to fruition. So I was like, okay, now that's where the word legacy started coming around. Then I started throwing events that people still talk about to this day. And I've always been that person to always want to go out, have a good time, but I'm also somebody that also gives back.
Right.
And for the longest, I mean, I think for me, I always prided myself on just simply being a good person. I'm not perfect, but I'm the oldest of five, and I've always been a good friend. I always tried to lead by example for my brothers. So for me, I always prided myself in that way of being the protector, but I never really considered it a legacy. I was just like, okay, I'm just doing it.
Right.
So that's why when we talked about legacy, when you came at me, it was like, okay, we're gonna do the topic legacy. I'm like, ooh, okay. Never thought about leaving a legacy until 4 years back, but let's go.
Okay. So what you just said rolls actually into the next segment, which is influences and upbringing. So who or what shaped the way you think about legacy? Was it what you just touched on as far as like once you started your own business, then you kind of came into that understanding of it?
I would say what shaped me is pretty much growing up in a tight knit family.
Mm.
I'm the oldest of five boys. Mom and dad still together. They just celebrated 29 years last month.
Okay. Okay.
Um, how I thought about legacy, I automatically think about my parents, especially my dad. That man, to this day, I'm 33, be 34 this year. I can count on one hand how many times I've ever seen that man call off work. He is actually the hardest working man I've ever met.
Mm.
Rain, sleet, snow, hell, fire, whatever. If
He
he
gonna clock
got it,
in.
he would clock in with no remorse. And if it was up to him, he would do overtime
Mm.
just to have some extra money rolling in. Like how he and he, he's a garbage man. I never look down on it because I tell anybody a garbage man is what helped me pay for my first year of college.
Yeah.
But it was his mindset because he came from humble beginnings, and my pops, to this day, he doesn't know, but I definitely, when I go home, I definitely look forward to us going for the nightly walks in the neighborhood, just to talk his ear off about the most randomest things. But I know he's going to be dropping nuggets in the midst of those conversations.
Right.
So yeah, my pops has always been a wise one. So listening to him and how he moves and seeing his work ethic, but also seeing how he treats my mom,
Mm. Yeah, that's key.
like that's what has shaped me into being this person I am today. Someone who's resilient, someone who works hard. Because I can keep a job, bills will always stay paid.
Yes, sir.
I've always been a family man, and I honestly, God forbid, my dad was to lead tomorrow. I would gladly sit up on that podium and tell people what the legacy he left behind. The legacy he left behind, he was a family man, a hardworking man, and he was a genuine soul. And he can cook. He taught me everything I know in the kitchen.
Okay. So yeah, I would say the same about my pops because my mom been married this year it'd be 45 years,
That's a blessing.
and I'll be 45 this year. So he's the way he treated my mom. That's all I saw.
Mhm.
My dad had his struggle in the beginning because he was from the military, so some habits is hard to break when you
Mhm.
out of the military. But he taught me about structure and about time, being timely. Because he's like, if you show up right when you're supposed to, you're late.
Yep.
He always said, make sure you get up early enough to take your time, prep, but still leave early enough to be early.
Mhm.
So being up before the sun come up, I still do that to this day.
Yeah.
And it's just because he gave me that structure. And then I seen how he treated my mother, which in turn I watched him so close. That's how I learned how to treat my wife. So it was just kind of like looking at him, and I'm just like, I want to mirror that. Because no marriage is always gonna be just perfect, but you watch how they respond to each other in certain instances, and then it kind of rubs off on you because now you understand. Okay, if we gonna have a disagreement, let's not yell, let's not cuss each other out. Let's discuss it away from everybody else, low tones, because once you start elevating your tone, the whole thing is just thrown off.
Yeah.
And that's when people start arguing and bickering and all the other stuff. So my pops definitely started a legacy. He taught me how to wash clothes, cook, how to take care of myself, which most men think women are supposed to do. I learned all that when I was a kid. That was my structure. It was like, nah, you need to learn.
My
Because let's say
pop,
you don't want to get married, you need to know how to take care of yourself.
yeah, my pops taught me how to clean. My pops taught me how to cook. My pops taught me how to take care of family.
Hmm.
And my pops is a comedian. So the sense of humor that I do have, it came from him honestly. I just go about it in a different way, but his sense of humor has definitely it's embedded in me deeply to the point where my own brothers can't stand me coming because they know if they don't get it from him, it's coming from me. And and then again, seeing how he treats my mom, I always tell people because I've been single a while, but I always tell people I don't want the same marriage or the same relationship my parents had, but I do idolize it because they actually like each other.
Right.
And when I say that, they was like, they're supposed to like each other. They're married. That's easier said than done.
Yes, sir.
You can love each other all day long, but you may not like that person you with.
Hmm.
My parents actually like each other.
Yeah.
They can sit down by themselves and be okay. Make each other laugh. Talk about everything under the sun. I remember. I mean, and I love and I respected the fact that my parents, to this day, they still do date night. They didn't.
Hmm.
I started babysitting at an early age because they wanted date night, and we'll be like, "Where y'all going? We going off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Off, off where? To mind our
Where
business."
where grown folk go.
Yes. So they did date night. So when I see their marriage and see their relationship, and the fact that they was able to raise 5 kids, and now watching them as grandparents,
Mm,
that's a beautiful thing.
yeah. So, was there someone uh, in your life who showed you what you didn't want to become?
Okay, ask that question again because I'm trying to.
So, in your upbringing, was there somebody that was in your life that showed you what you didn't want to become?
Yep. Yep. A few people on both sides of the family, actually.
Mm,
But you want to know what I learned? The lesson I learned, and it took me so long to come to terms with it. To be authentically myself,
yeah, yeah.
flaws and all. Embrace my flaws, but still accept me. Nobody else has to, but I
Mm,
accept me. And if I like what I see in the mirror, I'm okay. But no, I've definitely had examples from both sides of the family of what I did not want to be. Yeah. When you growing up, I mean, and I hate to say this, but when you grow up in black families, especially families that are deep rooted in the church, you see a
oh,
lot.
yeah.
And I had the best of both worlds because mom's side deep rooted in the church, dad's side really they went to church but not as much, nowhere near as much as my mom's side. So we had an even balance. So I was able to see the flaws on both sides of the family.
Okay.
I was able to see flaws in both. So I was like, okay, don't want to do that, don't want to be that, need to stay away from that. But I will say, me and my brothers, and they can attest, we grew up in love, meaning everybody loved us.
Okay. That's good.
Everybody loved us. Everybody loved us. Oh, where my boys at? Like when they see, especially when they see my dad coming on my dad's side, they were, oh, where my boys at? We see you, but where my boys? And the moment that they tell them either he left us home or we're coming, they look forward to us coming to see, like to see us. I mean, I would say, my family, both sides of my family, I definitely learned some valuable lessons.
And I think a lot of times the examples we see early in life quietly shape like the standards that we live by.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
I seen a lot growing up. Like my family used to be extremely tight knit. Like we hung out every weekend at somebody's house. Everybody cooked, all the kids played together, they playing music, dancing and laughing. And then it's like as time went on, everybody just kind of went their own separate ways.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's
that's how it
like
was. Mhm.
it's like and then I didn't think about it till I was going to therapy a few years ago where I started having like separation anxiety when I
Mm.
was younger because we always were so close. And then we kind of grew apart and then people started beefing with other folks and it's just like, what happened to the family?
Yep.
And it's
That's
like you
how.
try hard to pull them together, but man, it seems like it don't never come together right.
That's how it was on one of the sides of my family. The glue to my mom's side of the family, in my opinion, was my great great grandparents.
Mm.
I remember being a kid, always going over there at least once a week to see them. And of course, they were older, but they were the glue that held us together. And when they passed away a year apart from each other, things have never been the same on that side of the family since they both passed away. And they both passed away within a year of each other.
Mm.
Um, Now the family's in the place to where they want to start coming back around. They want to start doing family oriented things, which I'm happy about because life is too short. But I will say what it did teach me at a young age is to hold my brothers tight to me because I've even seen siblings drift apart to where
Yeah.
they go at it and they go for a while and not speak. So one thing me and my brothers always prided each other on is to never let an argument get so bad that we stop speaking to each other. And then the way our mom and dad are set up, they not going for that anyway. They'll be
Right.
quick to say, "Hey, y'all all y'all got.
So y'all
Forget
better
your
get it together.
friends, forget the outside world. One day we not gonna be here. It's just gonna be the five of y'all. So y'all got to get it together." So that's the lesson I still keep near and dear to my heart. So, because I know when people see me and my family on social media, people can tell me and my brothers are very close. We
Oh
crack
yeah.
on each other all the time on Facebook. Like we use Facebook as our stage to roast each other.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I know. We ain't got no sense. Pray for us.
Yeah, but it keeps you one, it keeps you on your toes, two, it keeps y'all bond tight
Hmm.
because
You
you
gotta
know
have
you're not
thick.
doing anything malicious to each other.
Yeah,
So
you gotta have thick skin to be around us for real, because we crack on everybody. Ain't nobody safe, and nobody.
so was there like a season in your life that really changed you? Like where your perspective shifted from one to another?
Ooh. All right. So I've had a few seasons that shaped me, but one in particular took place a year ago tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So you were speaking about uh, the season in your life that really changed you and how it shifted your perspective.
So I was going to talk about something that happened a year ago, but I'm going to pause on that one. I'm going to go back to a redefining moment.
Mm.
I was 21. a junior in college, Christmas time. Um, that was during the time where I came out to my parents,
Mm.
and I was at work when this happened. I was working on a golf course, paying my way through school at this point. I was a junior in college.
Right.
And I was on the phone with one of my good friends, and I'm like, man, why am I hiding who I really am? Like, look, I'm me.
Right.
I'm me. I'm still me at the end of the day. So why do I have to hide who I am to please other people? I don't know what came over me that day, but I was literally just venting about I'm tired of hiding. That's what I kept telling myself. I'm tired of hiding. So I ended up calling my mom. I said, hey, mom, is dad near you? No, he's next door. Cool, go get him.
Mm.
She went and got him. They went in the room. I said, I got something to tell y'all. I came out to them. The responses wasn't what I was expecting per se, but they will. But I guess looking back all these years later, it was warranted.
Right.
But yeah, that was a redefining moment in my life because I'm like, well, now that the people I valued the most, they know who I am. They know I am an equal opportunity. An equal opportunity, I'm not gonna say employer because I ain't paying you. But when I actually came out to them, when I tell you the stress level, the weight on my chest lifted, I went to Facebook and said a burden has been lifted off my shoulders. And when I did that, I was like, I'm no longer hiding who I am. I mean, it's not your business, but
Right.
at this point, it's like, no, like I am who I am. I'm me.
Love it or leave it. Yeah.
Bingo, bingo.
So,
So
what
yeah,
did that season teach you about yourself?
that I had the courage to actually, for one, to speak up for myself and not feel like I have to be quiet to please people or to adhere to other people's way of what they want me to be and how they want me to live. It shaped me to be like, no, I can stand on my own. I can authentically be me, love it, like it, hate it, whatever. You don't have to accept it, but you can respect it.
Right.
Because this is my life, this is my walk, and as long as I'm not hurting you or anybody close to you, you don't have nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
How I live don't pay your bills.
And that's funny because, like, it's always somebody that be like, well, have you seen what happened to whatever celebrity that got something going on at the time? And my response has always been, what they do in their household don't affect my pocket. Live how you want to. I don't care. That's not my place. I can't speak on it. And one thing about it, when you're a celebrity or you're somebody who's a people person, everybody's gonna have something to say. But at
Right.
the end of the day, what you doing don't affect them no way. So why do people care so much?
Exactly.
I never understood that.
To this day, I still don't understand it. To this day, I don't care. When I came out to my parents at 21, all those thoughts went out the window. Because my thing is, I don't go around with it plastered on my forehead.
Right.
But if you know, you know. If you suspect, okay, keep suspecting. If you want to know, it don't hurt to ask. I'm gonna tell you the God honest truth, what it is. And then, out of the way, like seriously. what does my life have to do with you if you're not a part of it?
Nah, honestly, nothing. I answer that for you. Not a
So
thing.
what that taught me from my, like when I did that at 21, that taught me pretty much forget what people got to say. I bleed the same. When we bleed the same color, it's the color red.
Yeah,
Everybody got to face God on Judgment Day.
yeah. You got to give an account for your own life.
Exactly. So pretty much simply mind the business that pays you.
And it's wild how adversity has a way of stripping things down and showing us what we truly stand for.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're faced with adversity, the real you gonna come out,
Yep.
and you're gonna see where you're strong at, where you're weak at. It's like it's gonna reshape your mindset. And
Mm-hmm.
once you start standing on, as folks say, business or who you really are or what you stand for, it's gonna really it's gonna really open your mind up to being more like, why should I care how you see me?
Right.
Because I live my life, and whatever God says, He got the final say. You don't.
Yeah.
So, so it's just going through adversity a lot of times really does shape us.
It does.
So, but it's good to go to adversity. Some people try to avoid it. Good luck with that, because it's still gonna get you.
Exactly.
So, how do you try to live out your legacy right now?
Simply put, being authentically myself and actually remembering who I am as a person and the difference I do want to make in the world. Because I will say, I've always loved working with kids. Hence the fact I'm now a teacher.
Mm,
Um, I work at a group home part time, and then when I'm dealing with the frat, we're dealing with our own youth, and then we're also giving back to the community, volunteering in any way, shape, or form that we can, um, helping with several causes to the point where I even want to open up my own group home. That's actually an
okay.
aspiration of mine because I really do want to make a difference in the world, and plus, this new generation needs it.
Yes, I agree with
They
you.
need it. Given they need the proper guidance. They need because I'm not gonna lie, being a teacher, I realize this generation is so out of touch. And it really came to a head last month for Black History Month. Because when I
Mm,
found out some of the kids that I was teaching didn't even know who some of these historical figures were, and I've known about them for as long as I can remember.
right.
And it got to the point where this new generation, they wanted to talk about people that didn't really do anything historic. You just want to bring them up because they're popular, but they didn't do anything to impact our people,
Right.
to progress our culture. Like you're not picking anybody of that magnitude. You're just doing this because you're just picking this person because in your mind they're the hottest rapper or they give back. Okay, yes, they give back, but what did they do that was historic?
Right. And I don't know. It's like this generation of kids that we have now, they don't really have any type of
Structure.
like figures. Not well that because the parents don't really get into our history, so they're
They
lost
don't.
already. They
Mhm.
don't really have any. They don't even know who half of the people who started a lot of stuff that they have today.
Right.
Like you go up and ask. Ask a kid, do you know, like, for instance, ask him who you think invented the traffic light.
Hmm.
Wouldn't have a clue. Who you think invented the iron? Who you think invented the curling iron? It's like we as black people, we have an immensely rich history,
We do.
and nobody wants to teach it.
Not at all.
And it does the youth of today a disservice because they have no idea. Like I told somebody, you know the light bulb wasn't invented by Thomas Edison. They was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it was stolen. Black man invented the light bulb. So it's just little stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, there's so much to teach and nobody knows it.
It's crazy because my kids didn't even know that a black person created the home security system.
That a black man invented the super soaker.
Yep.
Like it's just little stuff like that that nobody knows about. And it's wild to even think that this entire generation of kids are just extremely lost because they don't teach anything in schools no more. They take everything out of the books.
Hmm.
So it's like there's an entire generation of kids who are lost and don't have a clue unless they have somebody like a historian in the family.
Yep.
And the way things are going now, a lot of them dying off every day.
But that's why it's up to us to do what we can to teach them
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form. We got to teach them.
So, like, what would you say? Like, what values guide your decisions?
Mainly, I can wake up tomorrow and tell myself I did the right thing or feel like I did the right thing. Because I'm not going to lie, life is full of decisions, and sometimes they're not going to always be the right ones.
Yeah.
They're not. Because, I mean, sometimes, yes, we made bad decisions intentionally and unintentionally. But for me, the value is making sure that I look at it from all angles. Looking at it from all angles and actually living with that decision and supporting my decision.
Yeah. Being able to stand behind your decisions is a very strong thing,
Yes,
especially as
because
a black.
if you don't stand behind your decision, how can you expect for one other people to follow,
Right.
and better yet, trust you to make another decision moving forward?
Right.
I mean, life is full of tough decisions, man, and sometimes we all are going to be put in a space where we have to make those tough decisions.
Yeah.
And another thing I had to realize, there's always going to be somebody that's disappointed. You
Oh yeah.
can't please everybody.
No, sir.
You can't please everybody, and as soon as people understand that, I'm not saying it'll be easier, but it'll be more manageable.
Right.
The fact that you know you can't please everybody.
Yeah. But see, a lot of times, it also depends on how you were raised.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't want to disappoint nobody. You don't want to let nobody down. You don't want to be mad at you. So you try to do everything to please whoever it is, whether it be your
Pe-
parents, grandparents, all of that.
People pleasing.
Yeah.
And now that's a phase of my life that I am so glad almost at the end of the road on,
Yeah.
because that was definitely a time in my life where people pleasing was definitely what I was doing, because I didn't want people to be mad at me, or
Hmm.
I didn't want any enemies. Because again, I'm a likable person. I want to be loved by everybody because I love the world. The world may not love me back,
Yeah.
but I'm the type of person where I love the world. I love on everybody. You know, you could be the most evilest person in the world. I ain't got to be in the same room with you, but I can love you from a distance. I can love you from a distance because you know God is love.
Yeah,
So yeah, people pleasing at its finest. I mean, it's a dangerous thing
it is.
because you lose your, and what people don't realize, people pleasing so much, you lose yourself in the
Oh,
process.
definitely, definitely.
You lose yourself to the point you have to look in the mirror, and the moment you look in that mirror and don't even recognize your own face, that's a problem.
Yeah, because now you look like somebody else. It's crazy, and it's like when I was young, that's the whole thing. It was like making sure that I don't disappoint my parents because they work hard to get me, especially when I was going to college. It
Sometimes
was
I
like,
still, sometimes I'm still hard on myself in that way.
yeah,
Still, and my parents, they tell me when they get the opportunity, oh, we're proud of you. You know, I'm hard on myself because again, that was the pressure I had to live up to growing up being the oldest. I had to be the
and
first.
see, my thing is, I was the baby of the family,
Lucky you.
so yeah, not necessarily
Really?
because I always had to make sure that I didn't turn out like the rest of my siblings.
Okay.
So it was like for instance, I was married once before,
Okay.
so sticking around for almost 12 years, where it was always, you don't get divorced, you don't get divorced, and it's just like, so am I supposed to just live in insanity, live in dysfunction, for what? Who am I doing this for?
Mhm.
And it just was like I can't continue to live that kind of life because it wasn't it was beyond toxic. It was just like too much where I was being talked down to by a woman that I exchanged vows with. So I'm just like, all right, okay, this ain't gonna work. Okay, so to me, legacy isn't just about the end. It's about how we show up consistently. So if someone talked about you when you weren't in the room, what would you hope they say?
The truth. The truth. Actually, don't. This is my thing, and I'm sure you've witnessed this yourself. Don't hype up someone's legacy when they didn't live up to it.
Oh, of course.
So if somebody was to talk about me and my legacy, give them the truth. And for me, my truth is he was genuine. He was loving. He was a brother. He was a friend. He was flawed, but he was solid. And he had a good sense of humor. He found no problem with trying to make people laugh. I know because I have friends that could tell you time and time again. I would say the most randomest thing just to get a reaction, just to get a reaction, just to get them to laugh. Especially when I already know that you're having a bad day.
Yeah, that always matters the most when somebody's going through something. You able to at
Mhm.
least put a smile on their face.
Yep. So me is like I have my select people that I will randomly call just to make them laugh for no reason, for no reason at all.
So let me ask you this: what matters more to you now than it used to?
Me,
Mm,
I matter more than anything. My peace matters more than anything. My alone time, enjoying my own company, matters to me more now. Because I was always the person to put everybody before me. It's like I never
Mm-hmm.
had time for myself. I never really put myself first. Never. And if I did, it was a once a blue moon type thing.
Yeah,
But what matters most to me now is me. I matter.
I like that because I think for a long time I did a lot of the same things. Um, I always made sure everybody else was good. Put
Yep. And
myself
I
on the
still
back
do.
burner.
And sometimes I still do. Sometimes I slip up and be like, okay, let me make sure everybody's okay. But now I'm in the space to where if I don't have the bandwidth, I will gladly tell you, hey, today's not a good day. I
Hmm.
love you. Can we revisit this when I'm able to mentally handle it?
So let's see. It's gonna be the last question because, like I said, I don't want to hold you. Um, what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about their legacy right now?
Be true and be genuine in what you do and do it with the best intentions and the purest intentions. Do it because you really want to do it, not because you feel like you have to, or not for the accolades. Because there are people out there who are not well known, like the historical figures and the celebrities that left behind an incredible legacy. And it's not public, but those that knew them, or the community that they lived in, or the community that the people they impacted, could spread that legacy around. Everything doesn't have to be public.
That's so true.
Everything does not have to be public. If you're doing it, do it from your heart, not for the camera.
Exactly.
So that's why I said be true and be genuine in what you do in terms of leaving a legacy, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Because trust me, if you're not doing it for the right reasons, it will reveal itself.
Oh yeah,
It will
definitely.
all look. What's done in the dark will always come to light. So if the intentions were impure, we will know.
Of course. All right. So one thing I'm taking away from this conversation is this: legacy isn't built at the end of life. It's built in everyday choices.
Hmm.
It's in how we treat people and what we stand for, and where we're willing to, and what we're willing to protect and pass on. And for me, it's good to hear your story, to hear you actually speak on what you want to leave as a legacy. And I want to thank you, Mr. Adderley, for showing up and being honest about who you are, what you stand for, and what you plan to leave behind today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right. So, to everybody listening, I want to leave you with this question: if someone describes you in one sentence, what would you want the sentence to say? That's a deep question. Y'all think about that. Again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you, Mr. Anthony. I'll be in touch with you, like I say, about this event planning situation. We're
Yes,
going to
sir.
get into that. And for everybody watching this on YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe. This has been Men, Mindset, and Meaning. I'm Jerry Pope Jr. Until next time, live with intention.